We are already on episode 5 of this hardcore world, closing in on day 400, and today I want to get started on my biggest project yet, a massive dwarven gate and mountain build, with the plan on this being where all of my automatic farms go in the future. Today my focus is going to be on making an iron farm. This will be part 1 of a project that will take many episodes to complete, so make sure to stick around for any future episodes. To start this video off though, I think I'm going to go to the Nether. I think it's about time I do that, and I'm very scared, but right now I think I'm just going to start collecting materials because the way every episode begins is just my materials having 0 durability and me not being able to use them. I mean, it's a struggle right now. But I do think me going to the Nether will actually fix that problem, because it's a very nice source of XP, and that's desperately what I need right now. Well, we do have enough obsidian to go. I think I collected that like episode 2 or something like that. But I want to put this portal somewhere close, but not super close to my base. And I think I have an idea for a nether portal in the cave that is over there. So I think I'm just going to put the nether portal close to over here, just so it kind of links up once we actually do make a pretty big nether portal. I think I'll just put the portal like right here in this wall. There's something so satisfying about lighting your first nether portal until you actually get in the nether, and then you're just like, why am I here? It's time to go to the nether. I hope this is a good spawn. This is the first time I'm seeing it. Got to make sure my hotbar is a little bit prepared. I don't think we need all of this stuff. Don't really need a bed in there. I'll keep the iron on me. The shield, I definitely want to equip that. I have a pretty good old golden helmet that a zombie dropped. It does have fire protection 1, which is great, obviously. And hope that nothing terrifying is in here. Please be a good spawn. This is scary. What is this? Honestly, I feel safe in here. Sort of, because there's a hole right there, but I feel pretty safe in here. The only thing is, I have no idea how to get out or anything else. The best thing about being in the Nether is no creepers, though. But one of the main reasons I'm here is to get XP, so I'll take all of the quartz. A skeleton, really. What seems, if I dig this way, there's actually a path out of here. I can't tell if this is like a terrible nether spawn or what. I do want to remove the nether fog, actually, real quick. Okay, I removed the nether fog, so now we can actually see, but I don't really see anything good in here. No. This place is really bad. This might be the most underwhelming nether spawn I've ever had in this game. There's only one way out. I found my way out of the hole, and I ran into a not-so-friendly ghast. Let's see if I can get this advancement. First try, baby. Oh, no. Let's go. Second try. And the cool explosion effect. I'm actually going to go get that ghast here. It almost fell in lava, but it didn't. So we got lucky. I don't really like this biome, but I feel obligated to, like, grab some of this stuff. There's something so tempting about going over there. It calls to me. It calls to me like the ring. But then I think about the piglin brute that could end this world, and I'm just like, is it worth it? I'm only going to go into a bastion if I need to. What are you doing here, crybaby? We don't sell tissues. Oh, he disappeared. I miss the comfort of my farming village and pink sheep. Oh, shit. Stop it! Stop bothering me. You know what? I do think I want to kill one of these. No loot from them? They didn't drop anything? That's a scam. Finally back home. Mended tools, level 36. It's so much more peaceful out here. I quickly decided to disturb my peace though by going to the spider XP farm, and I ended up enchanting some tools, and that includes this Power 5 Unbreaking 3 Infinity Bow that I got. Well, I just traveled to the Nether and fixed up my tools, and I'm at the location that this thing is gonna go. This massive dwarven mountain gate thingy build. But this is a very cool spot to do it. There is a very ugly village. Eventually, I'm gonna terraform this area up a little bit right there and probably put a custom forest all around here in front of the gate area. But in order to start this project, I'm gonna have to do a lot of terraforming. It's not gonna be fun. It's gonna take a long time to gather materials just to build this thing up and also get rid of some of this mountain. And eventually we're gonna dig out a lot of this mountain, which is gonna be another massive project that I'm gonna do eventually, because I want to eventually make this an area where all of our farms are gonna go. Which, I mean, you can only imagine how big the interior has to be to do something like that. It's going to take a while. Definitely after we get an elytra and after we get a beacon. But right now, my main focus is to prepare this area. And I'm just going to do a time-lapse of it because there's really not going to be much to see. To start terraforming, I began lowering this section of the mountain so we can prepare ourselves for this project. And it didn't take long for my tools to need some more mending at the Spider XP farm, and then we completed the rest of the terraforming project. And then I began gathering resources so we can start working on this dwarven gate. I also started a mine pretty far away from our base, closer to where the castle is, that we are eventually going to turn into a mining city to get some more tough and deep slate. And as I was collecting materials, I took a bee nest with me to the dwarven gate, so I ended up leaving this guy homeless, so I went all the way back to the gate in order to get the bee nest and then put him back in his home with his family. I have come back from all this way to get this bee nest. This bee will not be without a home anymore. We have separated him from his family. He is lost. He's alone. Now we have to find this bee, and I don't really know where it could have gone. It was down here. It's gone so far. It's trying to find its family, but I have it right here in my hand. Come on, bee. Your family is right here. Get in there, bruh. No! Oh, my. Well, we solved one issue, but now we have a new one. What is he doing to that flower? Oh, what's up, pig? Okay. Well, we got the advancement, and we saved that guy's life, so I don't want to hear, oh, Wombaat's a bad guy. He's such a terrible guy, you know, he treats animals poorly. I don't ever want to hear that. I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. No, you thought I was going to kill that pig with him wiggling his nose like that? I would never do that. But anyways, I've collected all of these materials for the base. Not the base, but the build that I'm going to be doing. And I don't think this is going to be enough, especially the acacia wood. We should be able to at least start it right now. But anyways, this is all of the materials we have now. This is the most stacked I've been on this world ever. And I don't think it's going to be enough, because I'm going to have to smelt up all of this deep slate. This is why I need silk touch on a pickaxe. The one block I am missing right now is gray wool. I'm going to need so much gray wool, and I don't have any on me. But this area, I think, is spawn chunks. So this stuff should be smelting by the time we get here. And I'm actually just going to leave it smelting just to confirm that it is spawn chunks. Instead of waiting around and shearing my sheep manually for gray wool, I decided I was going to make an automated wool farm using this design from Voltrox. It uses 12 sheep and is super efficient. But to start off the farm, I did some weird redstone stuff and surrounded it with dirt in a way so grass can spread in the sheep pen. Then I surrounded that area with leaves and trapdoors so the sheep can fall in the pen freely. Then I got 6 volunteers to put in the pen, all gray sheep because that is the wool that I use pretty much exclusively. I then put glass over top of them, and then I started using dirt with pistons to push the glass down so they can't really move, which I guess makes it so the shears work properly. I'm not too sure. I then repeated all those steps one more time to add another sheep pen, and then I put a grass ceiling on top of it and then waited for the grass to spread. And while I was waiting for the grass to spread, I just collected some acacia wood that I was going to use for the build later on. After I collected materials though, I put azalea leaves over top of the grass that was spread, and then made a 3-block wall surrounding that, and then broke this water source block so that any wool drops would float all the way down into a hopper that would go into a double chest. The last step was to put some shears in a dispenser, and we have a working wool farm. And now the sheep farm should be complete. I guess we'll find out once the shears again. And there should be some wool that gets flooded into here. I can't really see what's going on though. I don't think they're having a good time in there. I don't think they're having a good time. But look how much wool that just produced. 12. Oh my dude, that is insane. 24 from one redstone signal is nuts. Also, look at this inventory mod. It's so cool. Please have something good. Please have something good. No pale oak. What's your purpose? You do a lot of sniffing with that nose? Oh my god. What up, bro? Hey, he treats animals poorly. I
Hey,
don't
you
ever
missed.
want to hear that. Hawk to a. Hawk to a. Why are you looking at me like that? I think he's happy now. He just let out a sigh. I think he's happy. Well, anyways, it's time to get building. OBS didn't record my commentary for like the next 2 hours of footage I have, so pretty much the rest of this video is going to be made by future Wombaat. But anyways, the main block palette that was used in this build was our stony texture blocks, which consist of normal stone, andesite, tuff, acacia wood, and deep slate, mixing in some other variants for some extra details. I used the darker blocks like deep slate, tuff, and acacia to symbolize some shadows, and also added them in the windows to make it seem like it's a little bit more depth inside of there. And in general, I think I like the way it turned out. The next step for me was to work on a little path that leads up to the gate. This path uses rooted dirt, so I went over to where an azalea tree was because it symbolizes a lush cave, and there is a ton of rooted dirt there. I also used coarse dirt, brown mushroom block, and some packed mud and packed mud bricks to make a pretty interesting looking path design that I see Flip using a lot. Not sure if he came up with it, but it looks very nice. I then started building a dwarven statue, and the design for this statue took me like 2 days in a creative world to get it right, so give me some feedback in the comments on how these guys turned out. There's going to be another one built on the other side later on this episode. And while you're commenting on the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future projects just like this one. The goal of this area is to have the entrance of the build be set into a massive mountain like the one I'm building, but that isn't even the beginning of this mountain because it's going to have to be much bigger and much wider, but that's for a future episode for sure. To start making this area automated with farms, I wanted to put an iron farm in the mountain area we just created. I started by making some rails and a minecart and headed over to the village in order to give these guys a new home. Thankfully, they were already in a cage for me to grab them. They were in a pretty interesting spot though. There was a massive hill in front of the village, so I had to dig through it and slowly began pushing them through the tunnel that I made, using rails and minecarts, and I had to do this step with all 3 villagers, so it took forever. And then I put him in a new cage, not really a cage, more like a dungeon. I then began clearing out the inside of the mountain to give us space to make this iron farm. And to start this iron farm out, I dug a hole and put trapdoors in there and put a boat so a zombie can go in there. And then I began pushing the villagers in the hole I made with some beds. Oh, and this villager was not cooperating. It decided it wanted to leave, but I eventually put him in the pen. But I found a zombie outside and lured him into a hole where he would eventually sit in the boat. And then I began working on the actual killing chamber for the iron golems with walls. I put water that would lead into a hopper and chest and put lava so the iron golem would die. Slowly but die, and maybe painfully, but it's made of iron so it doesn't have feelings. I then surrounded the farm with dirt and made it path blocks so the iron golems would only be able to spawn inside the killing chamber. But I came back to a lot of noise, and what I discovered was the zombie was able to hit the villagers. I tried to change the direction of the zombie and put him a little bit further from the beds, but it didn't work. And then that zombie later spread his disease to the other 2 villagers, and I wish my commentary didn't get deleted for this section because I was truly devastated. This took so long, and then to come back and have it all erased in a matter of like 10 seconds was heartbreaking. Because the first iron farm didn't work, I had to go to the other village that was right next door in order to steal their villagers so we can make another one. This design that I'm using now is made by Waddles, and it works much better. So I began making a dirt pathway over top of this big plains biome and rest of the village so we can transport the villagers all the way over to the mountain just like we did with the other villagers. And then I got another zombie to fall with a trapdoor inside of the eventual iron farm. Then I started making the actual chamber for where the villagers would go, and then I placed some beds inside of there. And then I started working on bringing the villagers over there, but we had another scare where a zombie ran in and tried to kill this librarian, but thankfully I showed up right on time and everything went smoothly after that. And I finished up the rest of the details on the iron farm, bringing walls around the entire build and then putting water on top of it so the iron golem would fall into this lava chamber that I made. And the farm worked very well. The villagers are not happy though. The next step for me was to continue the mountain across the other side to the left of where the gate is. And this project has taken me a ton of stone, and I don't have a silk touch pickaxe, so I've had to smelt all of this cobblestone down to stone. It didn't take long for our tools to start breaking, so I took a trip to the spider XP farm so I can mend them back to full durability. With our tools at full durability though, I began working on the rest of the mountain project. And the reason our tools were breaking is because this requires a ton of stone. The actual act of placing blocks doesn't break my tools, but the amount of stone it requires does. I mean, it's taken a ridiculous amount of block placing. Then began the process of making the other statue to the left of the build where the mountain that I have been working on is. And a wandering trader spawned. The wandering traders that have spawned in this world have had pretty much nothing of value. I would like pale oak or some sort of valuable thing, but they don't have it. Eventually, I do want to make the main entrance and the entrance to the iron farm a redstone door. And I'm going to have to figure out how to do that because I don't know how to make redstone. But the point is, I would love this area to be redstone and very technical, which I think will be really cool. Well, I feel like I've done enough terraforming in this video. It's taken a lot of stone to complete this, but I think I have something that I'm somewhat happy with. This is definitely not a complete terraforming project, but I think from like this angle, it looks pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, I made this statue. I have to get rid of that dirt right there. That looks really bad. I hope you guys like these statues. They took a while. That's not correct. This is not complete at all. This looks like a Grian build, but I think it's okay. Eventually, I am going to extend this mountain up a lot. Like, this mountain will be a lot bigger than this. Eventually, I'm going to do that. Eventually. I mean, that's a pretty big project, but I do want to keep, like, the snowy vibe up here. And I want to make the snow kind of go down there as well a little bit. Make it like an icy area. But you can only imagine how big of a project it's going to be to actually get the inside of this build complete. The amount of terraforming that needs to be done to do that, I don't even want to think about it right now. But I haven't checked the iron farm rates in a while. Like, I haven't checked the chest in there in a while. I think it's going to be a ton. I know it is working. And by the way, this looks so cool down here, especially with the bone meal. Makes it look so much better. But I can't wait for this area to be textured and complete. It's gonna be so nice. And since there's going to be farms running here, I'm going to visit this area a lot, which is definitely really cool. Yeah, I'm going to have to light this area up at some point, because this is actually just a disaster waiting to happen. Well, the iron farm's working. No, that's from the zombie. I don't know if I hit this guy, so I don't want to go over there. But we do know it's working. There's no iron golems around anywhere, so we know that it is spawn-proofed as well. And that's a pretty good amount of iron. This is just a little bit that's been generated since I've been in this area. And I think it's really a good amount of iron, for sure. That's going to be enough iron. This is going to run the entire time this world is open. And I haven't really even had the game open for that long. Maybe a few hours. But I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of flowers in some of these areas. Put some cornflowers in this area as well. And then definitely mix in some daisies and whatever these are. Bluet? Could be. And if you're putting flowers anywhere, putting them in patches like this looks so much better than just randomly spreading different types of flowers, because having them look like that, having them be like organized in patches, it just makes the overall vibe of the area a lot better. I think we are pretty much done in this area. I mean, especially when you're coming from this way, it looks really, really nice. I'm happy with, I don't know, I'm really happy with this build. It sounds ridiculous, but I do think I could have made the gate a little bit bigger, but I'm not mad about it. I think it looks really nice. But this whole dwarven base will eventually go around this entire mountain. Like, there will be other entrances, there will be other gates, and maybe some towers, because this whole mountain will be dedicated to this dwarven thing. Ignore that. Ignore that. Don't worry about it. Once we get an elytra, this area will this area will seem extremely small, which is something I mentioned in episode 1. This area really is not that big, but these mountains just give it such a large sense of scale because you have to go completely around them. But yeah, that looks pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. Now, the terraforming is not great. It's not even close to done. That's honestly just something I did in Axiom. This like world edit type mod where you can make terrain, and it's kind of difficult to use and make good terrain with. I think if I hand did the terrain, it would look a lot better. So eventually I am going to edit that. It's good to be back home. It will be even better once this area is cleaned up a little bit. But it's still nice to see the coziness of this farming village and my house. It was nice getting away from here, though. It was nice working in a different spot. And that's definitely something I'm going to do in future episodes as well, is kind of mix in a little bit of working here, then working, you know, like I worked in the castle, then I came back here, and then I worked out there. Spreading out this world as much as possible while also keeping this area growing. Because I do want to make this just a massive world with different types of structures and everything. And the big dwarven gate is hopefully just the beginning of it. And I mean, like I've said every episode, the low durability is getting on my nerves. It's been very difficult to be productive in this world and also find time to get good tools. It's been very difficult. We might not be able to get good tools until we defeat the Ender Dragon, so I don't know. I feel like I'm extremely behind on the tool getting process. We're on day 452. Like, armor, tools, and everything is just completely broken other than my pickaxe and shovel. And we don't even really have a food source in this world. I don't have any food on me, and there's not enough cows here to, like, kill them. The good news is, though, we have fish, and that's actually what I'm going to be doing right now, is fishing to end off this episode. If you didn't know, I fish at the end of every single episode, and I name that enchanted book after one of you guys. If you guys go into the form in the description and fill it out, you guys can name a book in this world like these ones. Episode 1, that's my book. This is episode 2, episode 3, and this will be this episode's book. I'm going to get into the Google form and decide that. I mean, I'm so broke in this world. At the end of every episode, I am extremely broke. I mean, we don't even have fuel for this fire. Do we not have any coal anywhere? There's coal up there. And pink sheep. So I can talk to Pink Sheep, Floyd. I can talk to Floyd. I also have to get name tags. I don't have any name tags in this world. I mean, when I say I'm broke, I mean it. I don't have anything. Maybe it is time to just defeat the Ender Dragon, but I think I still want to wait another episode. So next episode, I think I'm going to be doing something different. I'm not quite sure. And then the episode after that, I'm going to defeat the Ender Dragon. But here is Floyd. He doesn't really want to speak right now. I don't think he's happy with me. I don't think he's happy. Hey, Pink Sheep. Should we dedicate a build to Pink Sheep next episode? He's still mad. He's still mad. Should we dedicate a build to you next episode, dude? Nod your head if you think so. He's still mad. It's okay, though. I think next episode I am going to make a library and then maybe get started on a fishing dock and just do that, and then we can develop a little bit in this world. I think that's what next episode's going to be. I think the library will go maybe down here, and then maybe Pink Sheep will be a librarian for now, and then he can move up in the world, and we're going to dedicate like a castle to him. And I have randomly selected the name of the book for this episode. LeBron. I don't know if that's the person's name who submitted this, or if they're talking about LeBron James, but that's the name of the book. So thank you for submitting that. If you want to submit another book, do it. It's in the form in the description. Just submit whatever name you want the book to be, and it'll be that. Yeah, I mean, it's that simple, I guess. I don't know. Eventually, they're going to all go into a library. Next episode, I guess. But eventually, I'm going to make a huge library. But now it's time to catch an enchanted book. And usually, I just go over here to do it. And when I say I was fishing for an hour and didn't catch an enchanted book, I am not exaggerating at all. I got a bunch of name tags and stuff, but not a single book. And because I want this video to come out somewhat on time, I'm going to catch this book next episode. But if you want to leave your name submission, just click the link in the description and become a permanent member of this hopefully forever world of mine. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and like the video for more videos like this, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.